Coming up on Carolina Week. Police threaten charges after protests lead to vandalism.
The Affordable Care Act is an effort to enslave everybody.
How AI factors in with new allegations against gubernatorial candidate Mark Robinson, and how one study could change the game for athletes with injuries.
From the UNC Hussman School of Journalism and Media, connecting Carolina's campus and community, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to Carolina Week. I'm Isha Patnaik.
And I'm Anna Katermeyer. On this Wednesday, I'm so happy to announce that it's finally stopped raining. We'll have your weather in just a bit. But first, we begin today following up on protests that the university says disturbed classes and left spray paint across walls in two different buildings. Reporter Landon Jobe is in Sitterson Hall to show us where some of those disturbances happened. Landon?
Yes, Anna Cater, everything is calm now, but if you walk down this hall, fresh paint is now covering the walls that were spray painted with messages left after the demonstration. UNC Students for Justice in Palestine had a walkout for the West Bank last Thursday. The organization says they encouraged protesters and faculty to walk out of classroom buildings to, quote, disrupt business at around 12:40 p.m. SJP says unaffiliated protesters then spray painted messages saying blood on your hands and death to UNC throughout academic buildings. According to the organization, these independent protesters raised the Palestinian flag above campus at the ROTC building, but it has since been replaced. Police are investigating, and anyone who damaged the property could potentially face charges. Back to you.
Thanks, Landon. The university is continuing its emphasis on teaching students about new safety campus protocols since a deadly August shooting that claimed the life of a UNC professor. Campus Safety worked with Chapel Hill's fire and police departments to teach students about these protocols during their pirate-themed event last Thursday. Gerald Jeter, UNC's Director of Emergency Management and Planning, said that Alert Carolina notifications will tell students to run, hide, fight, or stay where they are based on the emergency.
Delivering training to our faculty going into the start of this year so that they'll know exactly what it means to run, hide, fight in a classroom environment.
Campus Safety says this training will give professors guidance on how to help students and staff during emergencies. This training is paired with the updates to Alert Carolina notifications.
Well, UNC is now providing physical One cards at the third floor One Card office of the student stores. This comes after the NCGOP sued to make digital One cards an invalid form of ID for voters. UNC freshmen were only issued digital One cards this year. The judge ruled to keep digital IDs valid for voting.
North Carolina Republican candidate for governor Mark Robinson says he is now gathering legal counsel against CNN for exposing an account allegedly belonging to him on an adult video site.
According to a CNN report, the account was connected to an alleged email of his and left harmful comments targeting Black and transgender people.
Mark Robinson, the controversial GOP nominee for governor of North Carolina.
The account, which is connected to an email with alleged ties to Robinson, left the comments on an adult site, Nude Africa, over a decade ago. The report references statements like, "I'm a black Nazi," and admitting to peeping on women in the shower. This email was also allegedly linked to an account on Ashley Madison, a dating site for married people.
The news comes as Robinson has fallen 11 points behind Democratic opponent Josh Stein, according to some of the latest polls. Robinson has denied these claims in a recent video released on X, saying the report is not the words of Mark Robinson and salacious tabloid trash. Robinson's campaign did not respond to our email requests for comment.
And speaking of Mark Robinson, a new AI-generated ad aired yesterday targeting Mark Robinson's controversial past statements.
Davis Seek talked to the ad's creator about the ad's purpose and the ethics of using AI.
This ad was brought to you by Artificial Intelligence. It's the first of its kind. Created by activist group Americans for Prosperity, it is meant to highlight some of North Carolina Lieutenant Governor and Republican gubernatorial candidate Mark Robinson's statements. says Americans for Prosperity founder Todd Stiefel.
He's staunchly anti-abortion, but he's paid for an abortion. He's staunchly anti-trans, but he likes trans porn. Like, come on, buddy. Like, how hypocritical can you be?
Robinson has denied the alleged comments about porn. American for Prosperity has also created ads using AI to replicate Robinson saying things they claim he has said. These often come alongside Robinson being digitally altered to appear in an unusual setting.
The Affordable Care Act is an effort to enslave everybody.
Founder Todd Stiefel says he used AI because it is new and will catch people's attention more than traditional political ads do today.
We're merging entertainment and politics and creating a product that is humorous, that can, be shared across wide audiences.
Americans for Prosperity has received criticism, saying using AI to replicate a person's voice is not ethical. UNC political science professor Daniel Kreis says AI itself is not bad, but the intentions behind it can be.
There are always going to be bad actors who try to do that. But there's also bad actors who use non-AI tactics and techniques, such as outright lies or stories about Haitian immigrants eating pets, that to me is deeply unethical.
Stiefel says any new technology can be dangerous, and says all the claims made in the ad are backed up with evidence they have cited on their website. There are also multiple disclaimers on the ad warning people that the content is digitally altered.
I mean, every technology comes with its advantages and risks, and this is just simply a technological tool we use to help us create our ads.
Stiefel says he has plans to soon launch his next campaign, Evil PAC, to make fun of and expose government corruption. In Chapel Hill, I'm Davis Seek, Carolina Week.
Robinson's campaign did not respond to our email request for comment.
And when we come back, how the Carolina community is reacting after a student has passed away while studying abroad. Plus,
cannot express enough how much Project Uplift changed my life in so many positive ways.
Students remember Project Uplift's founder while changes are made to DEI.
Hey y'all, I've decided to quit vaping. I feel so trash right now. Like, I really need my vape. Y'all, I literally cannot sleep. Like, I hope this is worth it. I can't. I know quitting is worth it. 'Cause I'm worth it.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Isha Patanaik.
And I'm Anna Cater-Meyer. In international news, tensions continue to flare between Israel and Hezbollah as hundreds of people have been killed by airstrikes in Lebanon. This comes after the Israel army warned people to evacuate areas of Israel who claims they are a stronghold for Hezbollah. These are often in neighborhoods and villages. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that attacks are not directed at the people of Lebanon, but only at Hezbollah itself. President Biden spoke to the United Nations General Assembly about a hope for diplomatic resolutions in conflicts around the world amid ceasefire talks between Israel and Hamas in Gaza.
This next story hits very close to home. The Carolina community is now mourning as it waits to find out more about what led to the death of a UNC student in South Africa. Brooke Chevrot was found dead on a hiking trail in Cape Town while studying abroad. She was a Moorhead Kane Scholar and a junior here at UNC Chapel Hill. Chevrot was reported missing on Saturday after a group she was with lost track of her during a hike. A helicopter pilot found her body at the area Devil's Peak. Autopsy results have not yet been released, but we will keep you updated on this story as we learn more.
Another big loss for the Carolina community is the founder of a program that has helped minority students at UNC for years, who has passed away. Alexander Kelly was not only known as a lawmaker, he was also a double Tar Heel and the visionary behind UNC's Project Uplift. Kelly founded Uplift in 1969, 55 years ago, while he was a student at Carolina. He wanted it to be a way for students like him from underrepresented backgrounds to visit and immerse themselves in college life. I spoke to one student who says Project Uplift, well, uplifted her.
To build a community that, I had not previously had, but a community that could relate to, my own lived experiences.
Zoe Locklear told us she worried about the future of Project Uplift, given some of the recent controversial changes to the university's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. The university, however, says that this program is not going anywhere, and it now falls under the Office of Higher Education instead of the former DEI office.
Well, students who have similar concerns may have the chance to speak at the DEI Town Hall at 6:30 p.m. tonight. The Undergraduate Student Government's executive branch is hosting the event at Room 109 in Fetzer Hall. The group says the event will be a space to share concerns and ask questions about the changing face of UNC's diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. According to Student Body President Julia Taylor, former Vice Provost of DEI Leah Cox will be in attendance. The event is scheduled to last until 8:30 p.m.
Well, it is a beautiful day outside. I mean, I'm seeing the sunshine come out, no rain, people are in shorts. Seems like a great day to have a great day.
I don't see a single umbrella in sight, so I'm glad about that. Megan, what can we expect going into the rest of the week?
This rainy weather we're currently having didn't impact any of this past weekend's sports, right, Bethany?
Absolutely. It was a very positive weekend for Carolina athletics, with all teams winning, well, except for one. We'll talk about it after the break.
It's been a year of growth. I'm focused, I'm resilient. It's been a rewarding year. All the hours of late night studying, all the hard work, all the breaking bad habits is finally paying off. I am an athlete. I am an academic.
Oh my God.
I can be whatever I set my mind to. And I am not my old bad habits.
Back to Carolina Week, let's talk some sports. A brutal loss for the football team. Through the first half, James Madison was on pace to score over 100 points and ended up only scoring 70. Let's bring in Sports Extras' Bethany Pryor to talk about what happened.
Saturday was rough, but that was the only day this weekend when a Carolina team lost. So let's start with the disappointing Saturday before we get into the fantastic weekend of Tar Heel sports. The UNC football team allowed 53 points in just the first half on Saturday, and they weren't going up against Alabama or Georgia. This was against James Madison. It has been a tale of two personalities for the UNC defense so far this season. After an exciting start against Minnesota, Charlotte, and NC Central, where the Tar Heels surrendered just 15.6 points per game, they had a huge collapse against JMU, allowing the Dukes to produce record numbers, en route to a 70-point outing. The loss of Kamen Rucker, the Tar Heels' star defensive end, has proved problematic in terms of containing running quarterbacks, like JMU's Alonzo Barnett. Luckily for the Tar Heels, Duke's quarterback Malik Murphy hasn't posed much of a running threat. If UNC wants to rewrite and revive this season, it will begin with an inspired performance from Jeff Collins' new Mayhem defense. Karen Shelton Stadium was packed on Friday as UNC field hockey hosted the Syracuse Orange in their ACC conference opener. The Lady Tar Heels made a statement with 5 different players finding the back of the net. Avery Donahue kicked off the scoring spree for the Heels, and Plune Lammers added another goal at the top of the second quarter. Both Yasmina Smolinars and Riley Heck were able to capitalize off penalty corners in the third quarter, increasing the lead by 2 more. Molly Catchpole capped the scoring for the Heels with a deflection to the upper left corner, earning her first career goal. The 5-0 win gave the Heels their first win in ACC play and 3rd consecutive shutout of the season. Field hockey took on Liberty on Sunday, hoping to extend their unbeaten streak. In the second quarter, Riley Heck took a shot that rang off the post, but she got it right back for another shot that ripped into the back of the net, giving the Heels their 3rd goal, Heck's first of the night. And with 4 minutes and 26 seconds left in the game, Heck spins around and fires a hard shot that the goalie can't stop, giving the Heels their last goal of the night and Riley Heck's 3rd for the hat trick. The Heels win 7-0, their 4th clean sheet in a row. The 8th-ranked UNC women's soccer team played its 2nd away game in 4 days on Sunday against Syracuse. After a lackluster start, in the 66th minute, UNC would find a breakthrough when Kate Fossey was taken down in the box after she megged her opponent. Bella Simber stepped up to the task, sending the ball into the bottom left corner of the goal from the penalty spot and giving the Tar Heels the lead with 25 minutes left to play. Carolina held on for the 1-0 win. Tune in to Sports Extra on Friday for a look into a big weekend for Carolina football and all Tar Heel athletics. We'll be right back with more Carolina Week right after this.
Wait, have y'all seen the new episode of Love Island?
No, we need to put it on now.
I know. I don't want to see any spoilers on Twitter.
Is that blue raz? Can I get a hit? I normally get guava ice, but this is hitting.
I'm gonna go outside and get some air.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. Now it's time for some science news. The U.S. Coast Guard now has new details about the Titan submersible since it was recently discovered after disappearing more than a year ago. The Coast Guard found the OceanGate submersible on the North Atlantic seafloor. The U.S. Coast Guard says the Marine Board of Investigations is investigating how the submersible imploded. A series of court hearings have already begun in North Charleston, South Carolina. The board will issue a report with evidence, facts, and recommendations after all court hearings to enhance safety protocols and prevent future disasters. The next hearing will begin tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Well, if you like to travel, this may be some good news. You can now renew your passport online. However, there are some strict requirements. You must be 25 or older. The passport has to be valid for 10 years. You must not travel for 8 weeks from the day you submit your application. You also cannot change anything on the passport or renew a special passport online. The processing time is expected to be around 6 to 8 weeks, and it cannot be expedited. If you don't qualify, you can still renew in person or by mail.
And Instagram has added new protections for teens by creating teen accounts. Teenagers between the ages of 13 and 17 will now have specific restrictions. Their accounts will automatically be private. No one they don't know can follow or message them, and they will not see any sensitive content. Teen accounts can only go public at age 16. This new change is expected to be worldwide by early next year.
Well, virtual reality recovery could be the new way to recover from injuries. Our Landon Job tells us how this helps athletes out.
And if like the sensor was messed up, it might be like through the couch, so then I couldn't get that star, but.
This is a way to bring athletes back into the game after fear of returning to sports from injury.
And that'll just add the intro to mindfulness.
A new virtual reality clinical study at UNC gives athletes the opportunity to improve their fear of returning to sports after an ACL injury. Director of Sports Injury Lab Shelby Baez says at one point there wasn't anything addressing psychological health after ACL reconstruction.
Using virtual reality mindfulness meditation could give a plug-and-play solution to help providers feel more confident with addressing things like fear and decreased confidence in their clinical practice.
After completing pre-assessments, participants enter the mindful meditation portion of the study. PhD candidate of Sports Injury Lab Katie Brinkman says the first part is using VR headsets for a guided meditation.
Once they're done getting talked through the meditation, they go into this other environment where it appears like they're in space, and they use the controllers to make constellations and catch stars.
Participants then transition to physical movements. These include lunging with weights or working on balance in a variety of ways 3 times a week within an 8-week period. Baez says she hopes this provides a gateway for recovery.
Rather than keeping them inside the lab, we can actually transition them to implementing this VR mindfulness meditation inside like a physical therapy clinic.
Since I'm going to be a physical therapist, it helped me see the psychological and mental side of rehabilitation.
Rehabilitation that now puts her back in the game. In Chapel Hill, I'm Landon Job, Carolina Week.
Well, that seems super cool. I wish I had that when I was in physical therapy. It really would have made things easier. But this weather outside that we are having looks absolutely amazing. Annika, do you have any plans for this weather?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I love to go on walks, so I definitely hope to get in a nice walk this afternoon, hopefully before any more rain comes. I think we have some rain on the forecast for this Friday. I'm not looking forward to that.
We are in peak hurricane season right now, hoping that passes by us, but doesn't look like it with all the water jamming up the roads, but it hasn't been too bad so far. So hopefully it kind of stays that way. I'm hoping to get in also a walk. I love walking, get our steps in, get some cardio in. But walking to class, you can see people outside just doing their thing, enjoying the weather. But hopefully you will tune in tomorrow at 9 a.m. to see some Rise and Shine with Sammy and Sunny. We hope you enjoy this wonderful weather, and we'll see you next time on Carolina Week.